So I wanted to continue talking about legalism a little bit more, and about belief in legalism. But first of all, I wanted to say there was a point I made yesterday that I didn't make, that I wanted to make about legalism, which is, I think the biggest problem for me with legalism ultimately is it's never satisfied. You can never do enough. And this is what I experienced when I was in the International Churches of Christ, and we were a very fundamentalist Christian group, Bible-based, trying to follow the Bible. And I used to see scriptures like, make every effort. And I could never make every effort because I could always sleep less, evangelize more, eat less, pray more, have less sin in my life. You know, the other verse that would stick with me, you know, if anyone knows the good he ought to do and doesn't do it, he sins. You know, and there was so much good I could be doing all the time. I mean, what excuse is there for ever really sitting down or watching TV or, you know, resting, except in a very utilitarian way. And even for me, this continues. Even last night, I was thinking about myself and whether I really do love people. And, you know, I thought about all the things I haven't done. You know, similar to a few weeks ago when I got stoned and I felt very condemned, I just thought about all the things I haven't done for people. And it kind of doesn't matter the things I have done. I'm like, yeah, they don't really count. But look what you didn't do here. You could have done this. You could have done that. You could have given more here. You could have, you know, been there for that person in that way. You know, there's so much I haven't done. And I think legalism, I think why in the end I rejected legalism is just because I couldn't live up to it. Now there's two kind of choices from that, maybe connected. One is I cannot live up to this. I am a wicked sinner, and therefore I need Jesus to die for my sins because Jesus can live up to it. And that is definitely a way to go. I think there's problems with that because immediately, or you certainly see this in practice, it becomes, well, what exactly do you need to believe? You know, the obvious one is, oh, you've got to believe in the resurrection. You've got to believe that he died for your sins. You've got to believe that he was God, divinity. You know, there's a whole set of doctrines you have to believe. And if you don't believe the right thing, some people would say you're condemned if you don't believe the right thing. But there's another way to go, a more kind of simple way. You're just trusting. There's a sort of trust that God has paid the price for you in some way. A sort of simple faith that your sins have been paid for. And I can, you know, and I can see the attraction of that. I'm attracted to that. I've been attracted to that. I still, you know, I still have faith in a creator, in God. I believe Jesus, you know, was basically God. I'm not sure if the Christian understanding of who Jesus was and who God is the correct one, but I basically do believe that Jesus was the manifestation of God. I don't know, though, if that's a completely... I certainly don't take it often the Christian way, but I have done. And so to put your faith in God or Jesus in that way and say, well, God, Jesus has paid the price for me, it's definitely one way to go. It kind of becomes like we become these sort of passive believers. It's like, well, you know, now, and what tends to happen, what Christianity tends to preach is then, okay, now I'm saved, now I've kind of put my faith in Jesus, and now I go back to the law. Now I need to obey again. I need, I can't live up to it, but I need to not do this, not do that, do this, do that. So it's kind of like you kind of go back to the law, but this time you've got a safety net, and the safety net is Jesus. Whereas I think what I came to around 2003 was, what about love? Just love. Isn't love enough? And I had to separate love from legalism, so that, it wasn't about what you did. It was about how much you cared. It was like, do you care about this person? Is this person important to you? Well, then you love them. And then you don't have to worry about what you do, because, you will do something for them at the right time when you can, because you love them, you care about them. So obviously you will, but you can't, if you try and approach the other way, sort of legalistic way, you can never do enough for them. You can never give them enough, be there enough for them, help them enough, because it's endless with legalism. Whereas love just says, look, I'm here for you as much as I'm able to be. Like, I am here for you. And even last night, I was questioning that. I was saying, is that just am I conning myself that I love people? But, where's the proof? Where's the evidence? And, what do I do for people? And so those are the questions I asked, and I'm still asking.